Now on CoastTV News.
A plane crash tonight in Philadelphia. What details authorities have now? The investigation continues into the cause of the mid-air collision in Washington, D.C. earlier this week.
We recovered from the CRJ 2 separate reporters.
Back host Bethany Beach keeping busy this winter. The town hosting a special event throughout the weekend.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Rescue efforts underway in Philadelphia after a small medical plane crashed. Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson and welcome to Coast TV News at 11. Tonight, we begin with that plane crash in Philadelphia. On your screen now is what the scene looked like just after 6 p.m. tonight in northeast Philadelphia. The plane that crashed near the Roosevelt Mall was a Medivac plane. And right now, Medivac says there were 4 crew members aboard and 2 other patients on that plane. And the company saying now, quote, "At this time, we cannot confirm any survivors," unquote. Now to the mid-air collision just days ago in Washington, D.C. 41 bodies have been recovered and all 67 people on board are presumed dead, leaving communities grieving. Brian Abel shows us how first responders are continuing to look for evidence and answers.
As first responders continue the arduous task of recovering evidence and victims from the frigid waters of the Potomac River Friday.
There's so much mud, there's no visibility.
Some positive news from investigators.
I can report to you now, we have recovered the Sikorsky black box.
As many around the country mourn the victims of the air collision.
Well, the whole community has been affected. There is a stunned silence, if you will.
The victims said to be among the best and brightest. From members of the flight crew,
Ian was just a ball of vibrant, colorful energy.
To the passengers. Kia Duggins, a beauty queen turned civil rights attorney, was also among the 60 passengers and 4 crew members on that American Airlines flight from Wichita, Kansas, bound for Reagan National Airport in Washington.
She was just so young and such a radiant person.
14 passengers were members of the figure skating community, from legendary skaters.
It's not something I can even comprehend right now.
To budding figure skaters and their parents.
It seemed like the flight had landed, but their phones weren't on and they weren't popping up anywhere.
The U.S. Army has released the names of 2 of the 3 soldiers on board the Black Hawk. 28-year-old Staff Sergeant Ryan Austin O'Hara was the helicopter's crew chief. He leaves behind a wife and a 1-year-old son. At Reagan National Airport, Brian Abel reporting.
Now to some local losses. Senator Chris Coons has identified these young ice dancers, Sean Kay and Angela Yang, as 2 of those victims. The 3 were in Wichita for a figure skating competition. Steve Johnson, pictured in the middle of your screen, was also aboard the American Airlines flight. Johnson was the captain and owner of the Control-Alt-Delete fishing boat, which fished often in the White Marlin Open. If you believe you had any loved ones on the American Airlines flight, that is from Flight 5342 from Wichita, Kansas, American Airlines has a phone number right here on your screen. That is 1-800-679-8215. And we know that this is an emotional story, and many people use this airport regularly, so it's very scary. And we will stay with you and keep you updated as more information continues to come in, and our hearts go out to everyone involved in this tragedy. Now to some local news in Dewey Beach. The town is building a new town hall and 7 bidders are available to build the new building, which will include Sussex County EMS, a police station, and all of those town meetings. Costello Construction was picked from the town of Dewey for both phases pending contract negotiations. A Middletown school administrator is behind bars facing 25 felony counts of dealing in child pornography. The Delaware Attorney General's office say 43-year-old Justin Smith, head of school at St. Anne's Episcopal in Middletown, was arrested after authorities say cyber tips from Kick Messenger flagged accounts linked to Smith's IP addresses for uploading child sexual abuse materials, and investigators later found more illicit content. Smith is being held at the Howard R. Young Correctional on a $625,000 cash bond. And investigators say there's no evidence his alleged crimes involve the school, but with anyone with information is urged to contact the Delaware authorities. Moving over to Lewis, the Lewis Planning Commission is considering recommendations about the Overfall Preserve neighborhood. The recommendations involve traffic and safety concerns, as well as street lighting and open space. No date has been set yet, but there will be another public hearing about this possible development. Back in October, 2 parking fee ideas started to pick up speed. One suggested $1 be taken from tickets events sold in town, and one taking percentages of gross sales from businesses. But neither got the green light from the town's finance committee, who say they would need more sales data from businesses in town and worried the ticket fees would disproportionately impact the Milton Theater. But the theater's director of development says she hopes they can find a compromise.
I think something has to be done. The town just keeps expanding. I don't see why we can't put in meters such as Lewis has, Rehoboth has. It seems to work for them.
JC says the theater relies on these spots outside due to limited town parking. New homes are coming to Fenwick Island. One of our area's larger developers, Carl M. Freeman Companies, says they are ready to build homes off of Route 54 in the town. The development, called Channel Point, and homes are now for sale. It was back in October that we reported that this company proposed to build 23 homes on the 9-acre piece of land. Now the company says the development will include 70 single-family homes. For more on this story and the previous proposals from the Carl Freeman Companies, check out CoastTV.com. Due to the prolonged frigid cold temperatures, Delaware's propane and home heating oil suppliers were struggling keeping up with all of their deliveries while following federal regulations. The FMSCA issued a regional waiver declaring for drivers delivering heating fuels and gasoline, also diesel as well, from January 13th through February 15th. And we now take a live look into Ocean City, and our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now with a look at the weather. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening to you, Brendan, and we have plenty of rain we're picking up around the area at this present time. I'm going to go ahead and click on over to just the radar right now. We're seeing widespread scattered showers continuing to push across. That's a little bit of circulation that's happening between Federalsburg and Milford at this present time, indicating we have heavy downpours there. Not that we have any kind of tornadic activity happening, although I usually refer to that in that case. We're just seeing heavy downpours basically begin to just resurrect itself because the storms at first gave us a bit of a break. Now they've subsided a bit. We're in the 50s as of right now. And as far as observed rain is concerned, we've had close to a half an inch approaching Ocean City, more than that in Salisbury, and just over a quarter of an inch at the official site in Georgetown. We have more detailed analysis of the rain that's already fallen, and we'll give you that coming up in a few moments. Till then, back to you.
Thank you, Paul. And we might still be in the winter months, but Bethany Beach is staying busy and active. The town is hosting Delaware's annual Fire and Ice Festival right on downtown and near the boardwalk. Today was all about the setup and preparation, and people spoke with Coast TV told us this is one of their favorite times in the winter. And as Coast TV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us, some people traveled a great deal of distance for this weekend's activities.
Fire, ice, people, and a weekend packed with events and fun all across Sussex County. That's what this weekend will look like for spots like Bethany Beach and Frankfurt as they get ready to host Delaware's annual Fire and Ice event. Gina Kroger stopped by the Frankfurt Fire and Ice Festival to see some of the cool creations. She told Coast TV she attends the Fire and Ice Festival every year for a very special reason.
We became high school best friends, just living a mile apart, but now we live counties apart. Our kids are around the same age, and one of the few times throughout the year we have a reunion here at the Fire and Ice Festival.
The festival brings out more than 20,000 people to our coastal towns and cities. It also supports over 100 local businesses. And of course, lots of ice. Over 62,000 pounds of it will be used across the coast for the ice sculpture building portions of the weekend.
My cousin came all the way from South Dakota.
We love the different themes each year. The book theme, these two are huge avid readers. Yes.
Jim McKeegan lives in Bethany Beach and looks forward to this weekend every year. He even brought his cousin who traveled nearly 2,000 miles for the event.
They get out there with the chainsaws and they're block of ice, and the next thing you know, it's a whole bunch of different things. So you'll love it.
Due to weather conditions, Bethany Beach spent the day Friday setting up and preparing for the festivities to kick off Saturday morning. And Frankfort held their festivities under some cover.
If you're trying to decide whether or not to go to Fire and Ice, let me show you one of the finished sculptures in front of me, one of the larger ones, but we got Winnie the Pooh and friends here, and these are sometimes carved in person, so if you go to any of the locations that are hosting Fire and Ice, you might just get to see one big block turned into something pretty cool.
In Sussex County, Brendan Conroy, Coast TV News.
You can head over to Bethany Beach, Frankfort, Millville, and some other coastal spots to catch up on all the Fire and Ice festivities and fun, with almost every location starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow. A debate over speeding on Atlantic Street in Milton has transformed into a controversy over the parking on the roadway. Right now, parking is allowed on both sides of the road. However, that could change on Monday when the town council looks at making it a no parking zone. They say it's unsafe when cars are parked on the road.
I don't think it should be allowed because there's not enough room on the street to begin with, but at times the Golden Rule on the corner, they park on the street because there's no place to park.
DelDOT has already given approval for there to be no parking signs on the road, and now it's up to the town. We're just getting started here on Coast TV News at 11. A strike planned for Costco starting tomorrow. What that means for your shopping. But first, Rehoboth Beach officials getting FOIA training, this after controversy last year surrounding the city manager's salary.
And we're keeping a close eye on tracking widespread scattered showers still moving steadily across the Delmarva Peninsula. We'll give you a total on what's happening with the rain thus far.
All the natural light of the great outdoors, right in your dining room. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors. All the solitude of the outdoors, without the bad Wi-Fi connection. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors.
DSN Plus is more energy, extra live games and on-demand replays, anytime, anywhere. DSN Plus is more hype. From playoff matchups in unified football to marching band showcases, we highlight what makes Delmarva unique. DSN Plus is more hometown pride. We go wherever our teams go, with up to 5 live games every weeknight. DSN is still free on air and cable, but get even more with DSN Plus, just $6.99 a month. Download the Delmarva Sports Network app from your app store today.
We take a look at what's happening with our temperatures and what's happening with our rain right now. We are looking for the rain to continue throughout the evening. It's going to be heavy at times, but about to an inch of rain. And then we're going to be drying out going into the weekend for Saturday and going into Sunday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. But the good news is that at least it's going to be more of a spring-like situation as we go into Monday. Temperatures in the 50s right now, 55 in Rehoboth, 54 in Milton, Georgetown, and in Seaford, 55 degrees currently for us in Delmar. The winds have calmed down briefly, but don't get happy because they're going to pick up momentum here pretty quickly, and the rain is already happening as well. So let's take a look at the amount of rain we've measured thus far. Beyond a half an inch at the official Salisbury site, over a quarter of an inch at the official Georgetown site, but that cut off at about 5 o'clock. Now we're taking a look at the active rain showers at this present time with very gusty winds right now moving throughout the area. We've had an impressive cell that just nudged its way off of the coast, just south of Golf Club shores, but it's going to continue to track out towards the water so it won't pose a threat, even though that's the most impressive cell in our immediate area at this present time. Now, as you take a look at the rain thus far, in Lewis, we've had over a half an inch. In fact, we've had just over half an inch in most locations. Rehoboth Beach at 0.49, but since it's been raining since I put this together, it's beyond a half an inch right now. We go to some other locations. Dagsboro, 0.59, 0.58 in Delmar, 0.47 in Ellendale and Prime Hook. We've just fallen just shy of a half inch in Milford and just over 0.41 for us actually in Bethany Beach. So our future cast for the rest of the night, we're looking pretty clear. And we're going to cloud back up on Sunday. And as you take a look at our future cast, we anticipate Saturday morning, we're going to start off back in the 30s again. Then we're going to bounce around in the 40s throughout the afternoon hours. Now, keep in mind, with the winds pushing out of the north, it's going to make it a little tricky for us to kind of deal with any additional problems. By the way, our future rain is looking relatively weak and paling in comparison to as far as where we were from earlier today. Sunday evening, we'll have the winds pushing primarily out of the south. Our 34th Lewis Polar Plunge will kick off for the Special Olympics, 44 degrees, breezy and chilly above the water and in it. Chincoteague, Assateague, we're looking for breezy, blustery conditions for Saturday, and temperatures go from the 40s into the 40s the next day before we go into the 50s. Monday is going to be a very mild day in Ocean City and Fenwick Island after dealing with cloudy skies and blustery conditions over the weekend. So just as we get ready to round this off, I want to remind you that the Delmarva Job Fair is going to be kicking off for tomorrow. Be sure you join it. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul. And the city of Rehoboth Beach is holding their FOIA training today, also known as the Freedom of Information Act. Notably, this comes after months of the city was found in violation of FOIA. The hiring of city manager Taylor Tedder created problems when the city was engaging in discussions of his contract and compensation package in the executive session, which was held behind closed doors. Max Walton says the rules aren't as simple as some people might think.
It is tricky. Look, the basics are that meetings should be open and public documents should be accessible to the public. But the public believes that they all should, and sometimes there are things that have different protections. The idea of doing this, and I've done this in many municipalities, so everybody's playing on the same basic rules, so everybody knows what the rules are when they request things.
The training was required of commissioners, but was also open to the public. Coast TV News at 11 continues after the break.
Here at North Bay Marina, we know that boaters have the most fun.
Pulling up to a great-looking home is nice. Curb appeal is important. But here on the coast, even more important is dock appeal. At T&G Builders, if you can dream it, we can create it. For uncompromising quality, contact T&G Builders to design and build your coastal dream home. Over 30 years of integrity, empathy, and love. T&G Builders, the sign of quality. Visit us online at tg-builders.com.
Are you overwhelmed with the stress of moving? Budget Movers can help. We offer full-service packing and moving all along the East Coast for your commercial and residential needs. We are always ready to provide you with a fast and easy moving process.
Budget Movers is unbelievable. Not only did they move our house, but they moved both of our businesses too. 10 guys showed up and they were in and out in less than 3 hours.
So hire me and make your move worry-free. Budget Movers, taking the stress out of moving.
With all the choices of services on Delmarva, where do you even begin? Trust experts of various fields with Delmarva Experts. Sponsored by Kitchen Concepts Plus, Chesapeake Eye Center, Apple Discount Drugs, FLC Energy, Spicer Brothers Construction, Mattress Peddlers, Homewell Care Services, Robinson's Jewelry and Coin Shop, Mast Audiology Services, Riptide Restoration, and Delmarva Dave. Visit DelmarvaExperts.com for various local professionals offering the best of Delmarva. Delmarva Experts, local experts right when you need them. Have fun and enjoy Delmarva's coast with Petey the Peacock, sharing joy coastwide. Know where he's going to be next and get his free coloring book at PeteyThePeacock.com. Sponsored by Tidal Health. Take your favorite radio station with you wherever you go. Download free today.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge heated up again in the final month of 2024. The PCE price index rose 2.6% year over year in December. That's up from November's 2.4%. The increase, which was in line with economists' expectations, was driven largely by rising energy and food prices. However, a closely watched measurement of underlying inflation trends indicated some progress in the fight to rents against the price hikes. Saturday, there may be picket lines at one of the nation's largest retailers. 18,000 Costco workers are preparing for a potential strike at the company's warehouses in 5 states: New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Washington, and California. Members of the Teamsters Union authorized a strike unless a new contract was reached with the retailer before today. Workers are asking for better wages and benefits. Costco officials have not commented on this matter. A Southern California man pled guilty to recklessly operating a drone that damaged aircraft fighting ahead of the Palisades fire on January 9th. Peter Ackman admitted to flying the drone that struck a super scooper, tearing a hole in the plane's wing. The aircraft landed safely but had to be grounded for several days for repairs. The aircraft can scoop up more than 1,500 gallons of water and drop it directly on flames. Temporarily decommissioning it significantly impacted firefighting efforts. The Trump administration is set to impose those new tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico, also China. Starting tomorrow, the president insisting today they won't lead to more inflation here at home. NBC News' Garrett Haik has more.
Tonight, the White House saying President Trump is keeping a campaign promise by imposing tariffs tomorrow on Mexico, Canada, and China in response to migrants and fentanyl coming across the border.
We'll possibly very substantially increase it or not. We'll see how it is.
25% duties on imports from Canada and Mexico and 10% from China. And the president hinting at tariffs to come on computer chips, steel, and pharmaceuticals.
We want to bring pharmaceuticals back to the country, and the way you bring it back to the country is by putting up a wall, and the wall is a tariff wall.
But Mexico's president warning the tariffs could violate the trade agreement President Trump negotiated in his first term. And critics say the extra tax paid by U.S. importers will be passed along to American consumers.
This is going to be a way to spur inflation. It just, just because Donald Trump's the new president doesn't mean that all of the Econ 101 books are going to get rewritten.
NBC's Kelly O'Donnell pressing the president, who pointed to his first term.
What do you say to the voters who want to see you reduce everyday costs?
I had almost no inflation, and yet I charged hundreds of billions of dollars of tariffs to countries. Tariffs don't cause inflation, they cause success.
It all comes as federal agencies scramble to comply with President Trump's orders to end Biden DEI policies. The Office of Personnel Management ordering all, quote, gender ideology references be removed today, including pronouns in email signatures, according to a memo obtained by NBC News. Another memo we've obtained from the Defense Intelligence Agency ordering a pause on, quote, special observances, including for Black History Month in February and Pride in June. And the CDC today scrubbing some HIV-related content from its website.
Coming up in sports, Cape Henlopen girls basketball looking to earn their third straight victory while facing Milford. But first, a new non-addictive painkiller has been approved. That's after the break.
And we take a look at our expectations for tonight. 43 degrees with the rain ending late with some fog, and we'll have your 10-day forecast coming up.
NBC News Daily, weekdays at 1 on CoastTV.
Designed to outlast and outlive. Toyota trucks are unmatched, unstoppable, unequaled. Tacoma has the best resale value in its class, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Outfitted with the most advanced tech and ready for anything. Buy a Tacoma now with 3.99% APR or lease for just $249 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
I recently had Primalock installed by Delmarva Metal Roofing. They have many different colors. I decided to go with black, and it almost looks like slate. So that's kind of cool. It pops. Everything looks great. I did some research. Primalock is lifetime. The workmanship is lifetime also. Delmarva Metal Roofing has been a very good company to work with, and I would highly recommend anybody that wants to get a new roof, give them a shot.
Your child deserves the best. When your child is sick, every moment counts. And the team at Tidal Health Pediatrics understands the urgency of such situations. Whether it's a sudden fever, a troubling cough, or another pediatric ailment, your child will be seen when they need it most. Schedule your child's appointment now at tidalhealth.org/findapediatrician or call 410-912-5785 because your child's health is our top priority. Tidal Health Pediatrics, compassionate care when you need it most.
The Polar Bear Plunge, benefiting Special Olympics Delaware, is one of the first state's coldest and most beloved traditions.
This year, you have 2 exciting ways to take part. Plunge in person in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday, February 2nd, or create your own virtual plunge. Anytime, anywhere, and as cold or not as you want. It's not about how you plunge, it's about why. Support thousands of Special Olympics Delaware athletes. Register now at plungede.org.
Mark your calendars for the Children's Beach House Gala presented by Jack Wingo Realtors and Jack Wingo Asset Management on February 8 in Dewey Beach. This black tie evening features an open bar, auctions, dinner, and a performance by Kristen and the Noise. Your support helps empower children with special needs to build confidence, develop leadership skills, and thrive in a caring community. For more info, visit cbhinc.org/gala or call 302-841-9639. Sponsored by CoastTV.
For the first time in more than 25 years, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has signed off on a new type of pain reliever. The newly approved medicine is billed as non-addictive and is an alternative to opioids. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on how this new medicine works and how much it's expected to cost.
It's a new kind of painkiller that's now FDA approved. The drug, which will be sold under the brand name Journavx, is a 50-milligram prescription pill that's taken every 12 hours after a larger starter dose. The drug maker says the medicine creates no euphoria or high like opioids sometimes can, so doctors believe there's no potential for it to lead to addiction or dependence.
It's a totally new class of medication for pain, particularly for acute pain.
Dr. Jinhua Ching with Cleveland Clinic says that type of pain is usually caused by surgery, injury, illness, or some other trauma. About 80 million Americans fill prescriptions every year for medications to treat new moderate to severe pain, according to a study from the drug maker. Right now, the company says about half of those prescriptions are for opioid medications.
Not everyone needs those potent opioids, even with moderate to severe pain. A large majority of patients need a weak opioid, and this drug is as good as weak opioid. So therefore, it can be very useful.
While opioid medications dull the sensation of pain in the brain, the new drug is a sodium channel blocker and works by preventing pain signaling nerves around the body from firing in the first place. The drug maker says it set a wholesale cost of about $15.50 per 50-milligram pill and says patient assistance programs will be available. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Now moving over to sports, a henlope battle on the hardwood tonight. The Delmarva Sports Network's Michelle Roberts breaks down the action.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. Cape Henlopen girls basketball eyeing their 3rd consecutive victory while trying to take down Milford tonight. First quarter of action, Isabella Watson got the scoring started on the first possession of the game by getting the bucket and the foul to put Milford up early. Vikings responded with careful passing around the arc that led to a dart to a cutting Amalia Fruckman, who laid it in. A few moments later, Hayden Hudson secures the rebound and finds Fruckman, who outruns the Milford defense for the easy basket. Again, careful passing leading to the ball in Fruckman's hands, who misses her first attempt but scores off her rebound. The Vikings ahead 9-6 after 1. Into the second, the Bucks trying to get the offense going, but this shot attempt is rejected by Haven Green. More good defense led to scoring opportunities for the Vikings. Fruckman gets the steal, dribbles down the court before passing the ball to Laura Lima for the basket. Despite the run from the Vikings, Milford hanging around thanks to shots like this from Tristan Schau. She drains the triple. Fruckman continued to hunt the Bucks, though, this time poking the ball away, getting the steal, turning into 2011 Dirk with a one-leg shot. Cape led 26-12 at the break. Into the second, Tristan Schau getting another bucket for her team, driving to the basket and throwing up that floater. Green put the finishing touches on this Cape win. With this 3 from the corner, the Vikings would go on to win 54-31. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
We now take a live look into Ocean City, and after the break here on Coast TV News at 11, we have a final check on your forecast.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We're Delmarva proud.
For family trips, adventures with friends, or just getting your first car, the Car Store is ready to help you upgrade your relationship with the open road. A great selection to choose from, price to move, and backed by the Car Store Certified Advantage. TheCarStoreOnline.com.
Did you know enjoying social activities can slow down age-related issues? The key benefits are stimulation of the mind, improvement in motor skills, building interpersonal relationships, increasing confidence and independence. Home Well Care Services LEAP program provides interactive activities that clients can enjoy twice a month at our Georgetown and Smyrna locations. Incorporating LEAP in your loved one's routine can create a sense of fulfillment and motivation. To learn more information about Home Well Care Services, visit DelmarvaExperts.com.
At Delmarva Canine, we know your dog is family. Choosing where to board them is a big decision. Our meticulously clean facility prioritizes your dog's safety. We sanitize leashes and bowls, we use cameras for constant monitoring, and we treat your dog like our own. Our trained staff ensures a stress-free environment for dogs of all sizes and temperaments. Plus, we can give them a bath and do their nails. Schedule a tour today and see why Delmarva Canine is all about the love of the dog. Delmarva Canine Boarding and Training, Pittsfield, Maryland.
Are you tired of rust stains, funny smells, and floaties? Are you concerned about contaminants in your water? City or well, call Shore Water Refining. We'll perform a comprehensive water analysis and offer a cost-effective solution in less than 48 hours. From whole house systems with water softeners designed for Delmarva to reverse osmosis bottle quality water right at your sink. Shore Water Refining, family owned and operated for over 50 years. Call or visit us online at shorewaterde.com today.
Severe weather can take a toll on your roof. Don't wait until it's too late. Reinvest your tax refund into your most valuable asset, your home, with a new roof from Spicer Brothers. Experience unmatched protection and durability with top quality materials and expert craftsmanship you can trust.
Have total confidence in your investment with our price match guarantee and our done right guarantee. For a limited time, get 50% off installation plus financing options as low as $99 a month.
Spicer Brothers, because you deserve the best.
When it comes to trucks, the Truck Store has just about everything. Work vans, SUVs, and trucks. Lots of trucks. So get to the Truck Store now in Delmar and Dover. Do more, play more, get more. MyTruckStoreOnline.com.
The Rehoboth Beach Fire Department and the city threw a retirement luncheon on January 29th and said goodbye to Miss Marion Jones. After 32 years of service, Jones was an administrative assistant to the chief of police. She is a two-time recipient of the Civilian of the Year award. And be sure to join us tomorrow for the Delmarva Job Fair. If you're looking for a job, there will be dozens of employers on site in the gym at the Delaware Technical Community College in Georgetown. Bring your resume tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And people are expecting to shell out some big bucks this Valentine's Day. According to the National Retail Federation, shoppers plan to spend an average of nearly $189 on the holiday. That's up about $3 an average from last year. In total, consumers are expected to spend a record $27.5 billion on this year's Valentine's Day. As for gifts, the most popular category this year is candy, followed by flowers, greeting cards, and an evening out.
Sounds like the same thing for every year. Sounds like the top pick. All right, so we take a look at our live radar right now. We are looking at steady showers that will continue throughout the next hour, really for the next 3 to 4 hours. So if you're going to be traveling late tonight, just plan on dealing with the rain on a pretty continuous basis, because as we kind of go back, you can see this is all streaming just perfectly right along with us. Now, we have more in the way of embedded thunderstorms to our south that have more vibrant and more robust thunderstorms, actually. They're genuine thunderstorms and heavy downpours. But for us, we're just looking for continuous showers. So for tonight, rain's going to be ending late, really, in the morning time. We'll have some fog following, actually. For tomorrow, 47 degrees, mostly sunny. It's going to be brisk and a bit on the breezy side. And then for Sunday, we're looking for seasonable conditions, but it's going to dry out for Sunday. We'll warm right back up as we go into Monday. By the way, our umbrella giveaway winner is George Gatcha of Lewis. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration, Home Remodeling. You can keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Frederico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodel 10-day forecast. We're looking for a high of 60 degrees by the time we crack into Monday.
Starting to heat up, Paul. Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 6 p.m. Have a great night.